Man, I was about to just give up and go lay down and take a nap. Um, uh, and then all of a sudden, this car pulled up at the end of my driveway and just stopped and sat there. And it has a blue decal on the inside of it. And then it pulled to the next house and just sat there. And I didn't even see it at that one, but it definitely went to the next one and just sat there. And the weird thing is it went by the other day and did the same thing. Like, what is this blue decal? Like, is it a UN thing or something? So that is enough. She's on her third meal, and she still wants more. I'm telling you, she's a bottomless pit now too. She's doing better. But I did increase the turkey tail. I did go to 3 because I was like, because today she was licking her paws and she's been kind of whiny, but I think that because she was sick so long that she kind of has seen whining gets a reaction from me. She's just whining for everything. So I'm constantly trying to tell her, what? Show me what it is you want. I don't know what it is you want. And so she's doing really good about going and showing me what she wants. So she's showing me what she wants. She wants more food. And anyways, that's our battle. But so anyways, I was like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm just gonna lay back down and go back to sleep or something for a while. Maybe I could go to sleep for an hour or something. And then that car pulled up. I was like, oh, that's so eerie. Like, what the fuck? What is he? And just sit there blatantly, just pull up and just sit there and stare down your driveway. Like, what the hell? Like he's counting something or something. Like, I don't know. It's very strange. So, and there was a helicopter that went over, and that was like, I'm waiting to see like what's next. Is there gonna be something else? And then last night when I was trying to sleep, there was that the airplanes keep being so loud, but there kept being these like explosions, like boom sounds, and it seemed like it was coming from underground. And I was like, I was asleep, but aware of this stuff. And so then I was like, okay, well, if something is going to be something I need to concern about, somebody will come and wake me up. Like I'll hear sirens or something. So there's been so many explosions, so much shit at this point. It's like, just wait it out. Let's just see what's next. Probably nothing. And there's weird shit at the border because they do have those militia groups down there. And I don't know if they're battling each other, if they're battling the setup, or if the whole thing's a setup, or what. But they are in the battle, like, it seems like it's kind of over religion. But everything is going to keep falling apart because there's always going to be things that people aren't in alignment with. And as long as people are using anger and control and judgment and stuff, there's going to be issues with all of the stuff being worked out. Is those different people, that group, like that soul group, doing its thing. And right now my eye is so itchy. So I did want to say something about this. So if anybody knows about this, because back when I was going to the doctor, so I grew this thing. It's like this sore, and it's like right at the edge of my eye. And then I started seeing like this, it seems like this dark black. So it's right there. And so I keep thinking, okay, there's something going on inside there, but I can't figure it out. And I can't, and I'm not really sure. And somebody was so right on with this Tamoxil stuff. Like, I really feel like it's making a huge difference on her, but on her skin. And so on this, the and something out here was giving me a stomach flu today too. So I'm very uncomfortable. My stomach, this is the whole thing. I'm so sick of this shit. So anyways, it kind of is really itchy right now, but I put aloe vera on it and castor oil. So when I had gone to the doctor about it, they're just like, well, I don't know what it is. And they didn't do any biopsy or anything. And then she sent me to a dermatologist, and she was like, I don't know what it is. We'll just burn it off. She just burned it off. She was like, I think, kind of wacky. And then I don't think they did any biopsy or anything of it. And but still, like I mean, even if they do biopsy and it comes back, luckily that they didn't, because if it would have come back and it would have said, it's malignant, it's gonna keep growing back, growing back, growing back, then you come to our treatments. And so, but I've got to figure out like what it is, what's causing it, why is it there, and it is so it keeps coming back and coming back and coming back, and so and it will go away for a while and then it'll just come back. But right now it's like super itchy too. So if anybody's ever heard of this, it kind of reminds me like of a chicken pox or something. So I don't know. And I had just seen a thing about apparently the herpes virus is created, and they give it through chicken. They inject chickens with it, and then people eat chicken, and then I guess that puts the virus inside of you, and so then the virus gets activated by different things. It's like, that's why I had said before, it's like these different environmental attacks will initiate a play out in other things that you have going on. So it will cause a reaction inside of you depending on what you have going on. And it can be so like, I mean, the variables in all of our lifestyles and how we take care of ourselves, how we eat, how we sleep, all that stuff is and what our bodies need and stuff. Like, keep this in mind too. Even on all my perfect labs, everything was perfect except the HDL was too high, but the LDL is high, so that's it's good. It's like, why are you even saying it? And because she said it when I was there too, and because of my old labs. And so anyways, but keep that in mind too on all my perfect labs and how I eat. Like, when they tell you, you have to eat this way, you have to eat that way to be healthy. Okay, then that doesn't make any sense, because I should be super sickly. I should have all sorts of problems because I eat tons of cookies, and I only eat like one main meal a day. And the rest of the time, I just snack on cookies or nuts, or I don't know. It depends on what I'm in the mood for. But I don't eat a lot of fruit. The fruit I always feel is like acidic. It bothers my stomach. I don't eat. Let's see, because mostly I would say I eat a lot of like potatoes and vegetables and beans. Like, that is mostly what I eat, and besides cookies. And that I've been doing more of peanuts, walnuts, or almonds, except for this nut butter, and that could be what is causing me to have the stomach flu or whatever. It could be because it had a long list of ingredients, and so now my system it is a lot more open and free, so when something comes in, it just goes in and it gets Stella, please stop. So it gets like a reaction right away or something. But anyways, I was thinking about that too. Because when they sit there and tell you, you have to eat this way, because my daughter will tell me all the time, you got to eat meat protein. Even the doctor was telling me while I was there, and because of my HDL and LDL from my old lab, she was saying, well, you should eat salmon. And I'm picturing in my head the worms in the salmon that I've seen in the videos. And I'm like, okay. Sure. And my daughter, I'm like, would tell me, like, you got to eat some kind of protein, like you got to eat like a protein powder, all this stuff. How much protein have you eaten? And I was like, I have a lot of energy. I go like I fucking go all goddamn night. And then but I get tired, like I'm tired, but I mean, legit, I was up. I went to bed at, I think it was like 6 or 6:30 when I laid down. And then it was like 9 or 9:30. And then I was up. And then I was like, oh my God, I was so uncomfortable. I was just like sweaty. And it was just like right now, everything feels weird. Like, I have been watching, because my order is still not got here. My Dusty Rose cords has still not got here. And so I've been watching and watching for UPS or something. Nothing has gone by. It's like 1:20. Nothing has gone by except for that weird fucking guy. Like, I don't know. And everything seems like it's moving weird. Like it seems like things are moving weird. It sounds like the sounds are weird. Everything seems really weird. Like it seems really like, I don't know, shifty. Like things are shifty. And I talked to our girl, and she is in California, and she said it was okay where she was, but it was just raining and raining, but it had stopped for a while. So there's still, the storms are still going on there, and but that's still going to have like after effects too, because there's still going to be like these mudslides and stuff, and there's more. What was that? It was like another storm or something. Oh, and they did the same thing to Chile as they did in Hawaii. And so then it was like, so they're want to take Chile, want to take that. But man, some of this stuff is just like, I don't even know. Because you would think if the good guys have more control, then some of this stuff wouldn't happen. But see, some of this stuff was always going to happen. Like they don't have control over all this stuff. And even when when Don was leaving the thing, he had said, you know, the ending's not for everybody. Like there's certain things that have to play out, but the things have to play out because that's what changes the world. So, so just when it comes to some of this stuff, it's like, you know, can't they stop it? Or, you know, are they trying to take the land? Is it to just be, so it's to be exposing to us the stuff that's going on? Like, you know, I don't know. Like some of the stuff is just like, oh, it's so, so heavy. I don't know if they're, what the amount of people who have been killed, but geez, there's so much. There's a phone call coming, so I didn't know if that stopped that thing. I should have put it on do not disturb. Oh, my eye's so itchy. So anyways, I don't know. The storms are still going, and that's still going to keep having impacts that are going to still keep going. And so anything can keep changing. The Texas thing, it seems really strange. Like they've got these people who are ready to, I mean, they're already like fighting with each other, like getting in their car and trying to run over somebody and out there fighting and yelling and stuff. And I don't know. I think it's about what Jesus wants. I doubt he wants that. I can't tell you. So I don't know. It's weird, but that's what I'm, you know, people just get so caught up in their own stuff that they don't even recognize. They don't stop and think. They don't think it through, you know? It's just react. And then it's all up in your ego, but this is why all this shit is so you get to see how far up in your ego you are. This is so the universe is to show you, so you get an opportunity to see. But you know, even if it is like if it the cookie, but also with this really weird fog air thing too, is like you can see it super separate from these weird clouds, different from the other clouds or something. I don't know, this fucking weird shit all the goddamn time. But everything seems weird. Everything seems loud. Everything seems like it's moving weird. And when I went on TikTok, the energy seemed really weird. It seemed like all these content creators were fighting and arguing with somebody, defending themselves. It seemed like, oh, there's like a kind of a change in the air or something, like something's happening here. And there's some really cool footage again with sky stuff. There's one, and it looks like I don't know if it's supposed to be like the moon, and then it starts changing or something. But what it looks like on the part where I was seeing, it looks like there's a door up in the sky, in the night sky, and the door is open. and you can see into the door. That's what it looks like to me, but that it's very bright coming through the light. But it's just weird because I just know everything is just these realms and this, it's like layers of things, you know. It's not like outer space, and even you know, the waters and stuff. Like the things are more like, everything is more like this, just layers and levels of, you know, like if you took a side of a mountain and it just kept going and going and going, and all different people went on to all the different kind of ledges or opportunities or places, and they could create their own environment and stuff, and it's like a reality, and it's all these different realities. That, oh, maybe that is why it's like the tree of life, because it is like this giant this giant reality of like all these levels and stages of experience and opportunity. And it is trippy because there is some souls that are so connected into their group that they'll go back to their higher self and like merge into back into this bigger entity. And then and I don't know that it's not like you get lost. It's not like you get lost in there, but you, man, it's like you aren't as defined. And that is why I kind of feel like some people just aren't as defined through this, but maybe it's to help us to see, to help us define ourselves, because everything is, you know, an opportunity to witness and to reflect on and to understand and see. So it isn't, I mean, there's purpose behind it. It's not like they're failing, they're not doing the right thing. You know, I don't know if it's like levels of soul, depending on how much, then that could be the whole thing of like the incarnations, like I said, about, because it makes you bigger, it makes you smarter and stronger and stronger and stronger. And, you know, I just, it just seems like there is a part where some people go back to their higher self and some people go back to a higher self. Like that they're like a one higher self creating a whole bunch of characters, and then they go back to their same higher self. But then in other cases you go back to your higher self. So I just don't know. That's why everybody is like your own unique understanding of things, and why some things may not make any sense to somebody and make total sense to somebody else. Which, by the way, earlier today, Sarah wrote a comment on the video I did earlier. And oh my gosh, for one thing, she should be a writer. I mean, I don't know how anybody could read that and not see, like, she has like this, like a gift. I was like on the edge of my seat reading her thing, and Stella interrupted me. I was like, I've got to get back. Like, go. And tears are pouring down my face. Like, it's definitely emotional. It's got triggering, and it's deep, but it's like so beautiful. And I think she's got really expressive talent, and she should, you know, you got to follow your own stuff, but sometimes, you know, you got to see that when you have a change of perspective, that there's so many people who need help changing their perspective, because there is so many people who lose a child, and it can be any kind of loved one, you know. It can be a lot of different scenarios, but they get so caught up in the pain, and the pain usually associates with guilt and the loss, but it has so much to do with guilt. What people go back through, you know, it's weird because when people go back through the loss, they go back through and witness themselves. And so they will feel so like shame and angry at themselves and burdened. And so it's a lot of stuff to work through. It's a lot of stuff to, find the power to work through. And so sometimes that's the thing. The lesson is the what you gain, the grow pulling into yourself to get through something, to get over something. You have to pull in so much strength. That is your gift, is that learning how to pull in strength to yourself to find your way through the forest, even when things are difficult and hard and sad and tragic, to be able to find your way to back to yourself, back to home, because people get so lost out there. And that is what keeps like people going back in reincarnating and stuff over those things into those games. However this works. Like if you go and you read, because to me it was like putting together the stuff about reincarnation, the near death experience, the NDEs, reading that stuff, and then reading the hypnosis sessions with people, like, and start putting all these factors together, and you will you will find clarity for yourself. Well, I did. I mean, maybe you need to journey through some other things, but to me, I found a lot of clarity in life and purpose and stuff like that. But but mine is expanded, because now I don't see this as flesh and blood. Now I see this as like a video game, and now I see things like expanded through my understanding. But I see it reincarnating as the learning and the growing, and the way that it expands you, like the essence of self is like your aura. It's like the color of you expands when you grow and stuff like that. So there's no fail. Even if people want to think, oh, they failed, they didn't do it good enough, they aren't right, that's the person who's making the claim. They have their own issues, but they are looking at those. They're distracting themselves by judging somebody else. But that is stuff that you may not get to see until you go to your life review, and then you see like, oh my God, I can't believe I was wasting time on that. I can't believe I was focused on that, and then if you did things and got things out of balance and hurt people and, caused a rift, like, you were super negative and always feeding this into your kids, and then you put that mindset in them, and they had this certain mindset and they put it in their kids. And then, then that's where you pass, and then you see that in your near death experience thing, your life review, and you see that's the motivation where people are like, oh my God, I gotta fix it, I gotta fix it. That's why you're surrounded all the time with your grandparents and stuff. That's why I say don't do stuff that you don't want your grandparents to see. Don't get too raunchy out there. No, they don't go in and watch like it's a fucking voyeur show or something, but you got the whole fucking universe is watching you all the time. So I don't know. That's just kind of weird when you have that awareness. Still no UPS, no mail truck, no FedEx, because something's weird. I don't know. Maybe all of a sudden all of them come at once. Maybe there was a FedEx truck a long time or hours ago. No, I don't know. Something is weird. Something's very still. Especially for the last few days, there's been so much explosion. And then there's a bunch of explosions. They always start working over there at that construction thing. I swear to God, it's like a fucking cover up. It's like, we're going to be working down there in the mines today. Go up there and make a lot of blowing up sounds. And but last night it was like I could feel, like I could see, I could sense it. It was like I could tune into it different in the state of mind I was in. And so I could tell it was coming from in the ground. It wasn't just like kids out exploding stuff. Because before, one of the cover stories on Facebook was that they were doing a propane tank over in some neighborhood. And but no, it was definitely like rumbling from underground. And so I don't know, or I mean, stuff going on under there. And I mean, there's just so much stuff going on, you know, and there's so much stuff with this storms, just everything. But I had something else that kept crossing into my mind while I was saying that. Let me think what it was. Because it was I don't remember, but it probably will come to me. But I was on a fucking rant yesterday, and then I forgot to say it this morning. That's why I had decided that I was going to do another tape thing, because I'm pretty sure I didn't talk about it this morning, but I swear to God I cannot ever remember what the fuck I talked about. And you know, another thing I was wondering about, because like as the numbers go up on my videos, like more people tuning into my energy, I wonder if I feel that, if that could be making it where it's harder for me to sleep. And that's why I hear so much, because I hear people hearing me or something, like this energetic connection happening. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't even know. You know, because there was a thing that somebody had said about that before, and I can't remember, because it seemed like this caught my attention when this girl talked about it, because I had thought that too, because I'd had a video, I think it was it was a video I did a long while ago, and it had gone viral, and it was just nonstop, comment, oh my God, it was like so much, and it was exhausting. And that was nowhere even compared to the one my daughter did that went viral. Because she did that video, you know, like showing her mom, and went, because it was like 7 million. She had like 1 million comments or something. I don't know. It was a huge amount of numbers, where she eventually just stopped the comments. She couldn't even handle it. And mine was nowhere near those numbers. But it still was like, oh my gosh. So you're kind of getting like exhausted by it anyways, because of all of the comments when that happened. But then I heard a girl talking about that, and she was saying something about the energy that comes in from all these different people when that happens, and how she got sick when it happened. And so I was like, huh, it's interesting. So anyways, I was just thinking about that too, if that could be. But anyways, so my rant that I was like super irritated about, or I don't even know if it's irritated. It's just another recognition of the BS. And it goes back so far, because it was bringing me back to like the 80s and 80s and stuff like that. And I just watched this movie. I think I even talked about it. It was a couple of months ago, I think. And I know I did a TikTok on it, because it was like, I don't know, 70s or something. No, I think it was the early 80s maybe. And it was this girl, and she went and got some blood test or something. She had syphilis, and so then the disease center starts tracking her. They have to go track her down. They'll go talk to her. They go talk to everyone. She has to give names and dates and everything about who she slept with. They have to go track them down. They have to go through and find who was the person who had the thing, and who started it, and who all has it, and get everybody to go take a shot and all this stuff. And then and that was in this movie. They showed this all in this movie. And then back in the day, on that, you know, well, who knows if that was the fraud's first attempt of mass genocide, but if that was just, you know, one of the times, because no telling how old that little fucker is. And so, anyways, with that, when you would go and if you got that certain disease, which then they started linking. Here comes something. Let's see what it is. Another fucking big white truck. It was like a little while ago, Xfinity one or Ziply one went by. It was like, I don't know, something still seems weird. Okay, so the the back then they were tracking all of this and they were giving us all these statistics about it. Like, I swear to God, it would be on the 6 o'clock news, giving you the updates on, that. And you went in and you got it, boy, they would track it down and find all the people and round it up and everything like that. And, the Hep C was included in that. And so I was just sitting here yesterday and I don't know what came to my mind. It probably was thinking about, like, man, what if I gave it to somebody? And there was a school bus, like, at 1:30. I don't know. Maybe it's an early day. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. If they were tracking all those, and they would how to make sure, and that's how they could say, because they would come out, well, now it's not just drug addict, it's not just gay guys, now it's the drug addicts, now it's the drug addicts' wives, now it's the drug addicts' wives and kids, now they were telling us all this stuff all the time. And somewhere in there, Hep C became just as bad. It was like those drug addicts, all the people who were shooting up and stuff, they were getting it, and the passing it around, and it would pass the same as in sex. Only when we worked at the lab or in the hospital or something, Hep C outside of the body was the one to be more concerned about, because it can live on the counter even after you wipe the counter. So if you spilled, like, blood, like, even if the nurse before you, if she spilled blood and she just wiped it, or even an aide, anybody, like anybody that wasn't particularly good at their job, or do what you should do, and so you spill it and then wipe it up, the AIDS blood would it would die real quick, but the Hep C blood, that would stay there way longer. So you could go up and, I don't know, you could set something down on there. If it got on it, I guess you could carry that, and somehow, but it has to get inside of you, has to get its way inside of you. So you lick your hand, like you did that, and like you licked your thumb to do something. There's the male guy. One of the male guys. Maybe they'll start coming now. So they made it a lot more like it was dangerous. Like, you had to be really careful, especially over Hep C. You got to be so careful. And then they were supposedly tracking all that stuff. And then now it would have been 2 years since it came back. So I don't know if they don't give me the diagnosis of it, I guess. I mean, I don't get, like, if this is just like a loophole, or because it seems strange to me. Like, if you know that I had this, why in the world don't you have to track it around and find where it came from, and who all has been exposed, and who exposed who, and where it came from? Like, it seems weird. It seems just like, oh, well, let's just not talk about it. And I was thinking, man, what about the people, like, fuck, I don't, I have no idea. I have no idea how long I had it. The only way I could think of that I even had gotten it was, I was thinking, was at work. Because I was around so much, well, working in the ER, I was around all sorts of drug addicts and stuff all the time, all day long. So, you have all that, it's like dirty blood, basically. And you had to be really careful. So anyways, that's what I kept thinking. There's probably tons and tons of nurses and stuff that had gotten it, or people who worked in the lab and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, if it's an epidemic, obviously we weren't all out shooting up. And so, and it's passed around through sex. And then they have all of this going out and having, just mindless sex with just whoever. Just go have sex with strangers, just run out and do it just all day long with strangers. And all that stuff gets passed around and passed around. And a lot of that stuff, like Hep C or something, you can have it for a long time. AIDS too, I think you could have it for a pretty long time and not have any kind of signs or feel sick or anything. So you can be out spreading it and not even have any idea. And I was thinking, my ex, he was alcoholic, and I was thinking, man, if he got it, well, if he was having liver problems anyways from his drinking, he probably wouldn't have even known. And then he would probably just keep thinking, well, he's having problems with his liver from drinking and not even know, not even take care of himself. And the thing is all this stuff is like, it's weird because it's always that they find it after I healed it, you know? Like colitis, I knew ahead of time. I got diagnosed with the colitis and then I had to go into it healing. The brain injury, I got the diagnosis. Well, they didn't even give me the diagnosis. I just knew. I put enough, I could figure it out myself. It wasn't that hard to figure out. And it took a while for them to admit it, but because, it's something they did. It wasn't like when I got a car wreck. No, it happened under their care. So yeah, everybody's just like, no, let's just pretend like nothing's going on there. And that's how they work. That's how corrupt these people are. And what was it too? I saw something earlier where it was like, man, there's so much with the corruption just keeps coming and coming out. And there seems like there's a lot of weird stuff going on Twitter. Seems like Twitter's got a lot of action going on. I just saw somebody saying that they were on Facebook and everything on Facebook is all computer imagery. So it's all AI created. And it has all pictures of the strip, all sorts of kids, all sorts of things. And it's all AI stuff and all these people sharing it, liking it, talking about it. And he said it's so obvious it's not even real. And people think it's real. It's like, what the hell is going on? People are just like, I don't know. It's like I can see it on this level that I do not know how to explain. And it's like a balloon going inside out of itself. And it is like, it's like the balloon is going inside out of itself. This is what we're in the process of. And it's like, it's strange. Is in the midst of it is like the disconnect that people have to their reality is what they're going to have to see and have to witness. And then you think about like these love and light people, and now there's a whole thing going because now the love and lights are telling these other people, well, your vibration isn't high enough, that's why you haven't manifested the life of your dreams. It's like, oh my God, do you see how the judgment, like how the fuck do you know about the life of, you don't know what somebody's life, why would you make someone doubt that their life is not the life of their dreams? Why isn't it, how do you know it is that they don't have gratitude, that they are missing something because they're chasing something outside themselves and they're missing out and recognizing that they have the life of their dreams. They have everything they could possibly want. They have love. They have, there's another truck. Oh, that's the neighbor guy who's bringing his truck home. They have, good relationships. They have people around, like, to tell somebody that this is the desired thing, you have to have this. If you don't have this, then you are low vibration. It's low vibration to be judgmental on people. It's low vibration to tell people that everybody has to have the same thing or be doing the same thing, to even have any idea what somebody else needs. So anyways, that whole thing is falling apart, and there's all these people talking about that. And it is. So I've said that before. Don't buy into this stuff. They get in your head, these people, and they'll say stuff like, well, you should be doing this, and you should, all of their bullshit over, just a lot of shit. Their whole thing about low vibration. And when this all comes and is said and done, they're going to find out they're the ones who are low vibration. and they're sitting there telling other people that they're low vibration, but they're the ones who are lower vibration, because they're ignoring everything that's going on. They're not healing. They're all just like this. They're so disconnected from their body, mind, body, spirit thing. They all have like this crazy color hair, tons of makeup. They're all about an image. It is there's a lot of problems, and they are out there trying to lead the way and tell people, because they think they're the leaders in this spiritual community, because they woke up to that part. It's like you're ignoring everything else in the whole wide world. You are judgmental of other people. You are putting out toxic energy, making people doubt themselves. This is a time when you got to be building people up, helping people to believe in themselves, to know that, to power ahead and to believe in themselves. And the whole thing about the life of your dreams has to do with your attitude. When you were manifesting the life of your dreams, it has to do with your attitude. It isn't just like, the life of my dreams, I don't know. Like, it's like these people, you have to have like a story book or something. To me, how it is you are, you're going through your life and you have no idea, in these different stages you go through, becoming a part of a family, and you feel rejected, you feel like you're a disappointment, you feel like you're doing something wrong, and it's a lot. You go to school and you go around other kids and they keep pointing out to you what's wrong with you and all that, because everybody feels insecure, so everybody's looking at everybody else's problems. It's all anybody's talking about is what's wrong with you, what's wrong with you. Everybody's like, and we're going through that, and then people start trying to pretend like nothing's wrong with them, and they're just fine. So it goes through all of these kind of like stages, and the people who, when you go through that, there becomes a point in time when you recognize that the people around you are teaching you. You're learning to love yourself. It's like the people who withdraw love from you or take things from you, all that stuff is to teach you how to give it to yourself, to learn to love yourself and to take better care of yourself. And so you're going through like that stage, to me, and that's the stage what people I think are going through. Then that stage leads you into loving yourself, and starting to understand like all of the parts of you that got lost, all the parts of you tried to hide, that you felt bad about, all the things you've done and the things that have been done to you, and all of this stuff, that to go through this process of healing it, letting it go and moving forward, not letting it hold you back and hold you down. And then plus you have better relationships when you take responsibility for your actions, when you're not sitting back thinking everybody else has to behave a certain way to make you happy. When you are able to set boundaries for yourself, there's like a lot of, it's like everybody's got to follow their own thing. It's like you have certain things that you came out here to learn, and they're inside of you, and your lessons are around you. And so you go through whatever the different ones are and learn. And then once you learn to love yourself and you feel good, that is this switching timelines. It's like there's two where it's like the timeline of confusion, where you're the victim. It's a hard timeline and things don't go right, but everything is to push you in this other one. Once you get pushed into the one where you love yourself, you feel good, you're taking control, you are, you're doing things because you want to do them, you don't feel the pressure, you have good boundaries. It is like you're living this different way. And so, and you have a destined path, is your progress to where you go to, and I can't just say like, oh, towards your livelihood, like how you will take care of yourself, because it could be a lot of different things. It may be, that you're not going to work, maybe something else. It can be so many different things. There isn't just one dream life. There's multiple different opportunities and things. But was when you're going on that one, then you are manifesting, you're going towards it, you're taking action, you're putting things into gear, and you're moving towards something. So you're manifesting what it is that you're desiring, and you're going towards your hidden path, your own truth, and you're following your desired destiny. And so going towards that is all that is the high vibration. And in the going through the different layers of it, of having appreciation, having gratitude for the experiences, gratitude for the things you have, gratitude for the people around you, all of that, that's high vibration. Like, I don't know where it is that they're saying if you're not living your dream life. Well, wouldn't your dream life be one where you have good relationships, where you're happy, you don't have stress, you're not worried about how you're going to eat or feed your kids, how you're going to get around? Isn't that like what dreams are made of? Is to be able to live stress free. So, like, and the thing is too, is that as you're going through this awakening, as you're going through this, reprioritizing your life and your existence, it is getting it to where you are going into those desired things, like whatever it is. Like, if your desire is to be in a close knit community where everybody gets together, and like, there's so many different fun things that can go on in a close knit community. A lot of fun stuff, like some of these retirement communities and stuff, they've come up with all sorts of little fun things. There's all sorts of fun things you can do with a close knit community. Or it can be, that you want more isolation and you want to be out further. Like, there's all different things, but working towards your dream life is working towards your best you and going towards your best life. Like, what are they talking about? Manifesting your dream life. Manifesting what? I got to go manifest, get the best job so I can get a nice big fat account. Or maybe I'll just sit and manifest money, and I'll just sit and wait for this account check to just drop in my account, and then buy the dream house. I got a different date every night, and somebody's buying my supper every day, so I'm living my best life. Like, everybody's best life is very different. So don't be caught up and then listening to these people tell you, and don't get caught up in their idea. What you're living could be way better than what they're living. They could be living completely shallow, empty, and they just put a big old smile on their face, put on some more mascara, and call it a day. So don't, a lot of these people are so fake and so phony. And a lot of this stuff is all being exposed. Like, that's all the truth that is going to keep coming out. A lot of these people who are, especially people saying stuff like that, and making people doubt themselves and feel bad about themselves. This is not the time to do that, to make people feel bad about themselves. Not, and you have people out there right now who are going in and attacking people and being really mean and hateful, which are probably the bots. Just like that one guy was saying, the Facebook is all AI and stuff. He goes, it's probably all these people who are coming on and saying all this stuff is all bots. And that's what I think anyways. There's so many that I just block, as there is so many that are just bots. And not even just AI bot people or whatever, but there's people in jail that's their job, is to go in and harass people online. They actually get paid. They're bought to do that. So they get paid to just go in and harass people on the internet, especially certain people. Like, if they're meant to go harass patriots and play the role as a liberal, or if they're meant to go harass liberals and play the part of a MAGA and stuff. Like, just like down at the border right now, even with that fighting and stuff, you still don't know if who's the plant and who's real. Like, we don't know these people. And then plus, all this wacky shit with the church stuff is always going to come to some kind of resolve, because there's just this back and forth. Well, no, Jesus didn't. No, Jesus, They all argue when it comes down to it. They just make more churches. They can't all agree. And I mean, you got, I think, and I don't know if it was the person who was on the thing or if it was the people in the crowd, but saying something about gay people or something. And it's like, there's so much of these people's stuff, like where they think that they can judge people in the name of God. It's like God does not judge people. Like this God that you think that you are worshiping, that has got you, your foot soldier out there judging and being hateful and, spouting off God's word to everybody and stuff. That is you're soldiering for the wrong team. Like, is because the true creator would love his creation, be supportive as creation, just like, all of the plants and stuff that grow around us to keep us healthy. And, that is definitely what I've seen. And, but I've been moving towards that. Like, this isn't just like, I didn't just do this over the past 2 years or something. This has been going on for a long time. His mind was well, I mean, when you go into the hospital and you get a brain injury and nobody's helping you, you have to, I had to call on my own abilities of being a nurse and understanding and stuff, and to figure stuff out. And so doing the healing on that, like, and the thing on my healing on that was that you have to just keep pushing yourself. They would just lock you up and leave you, to not be able to do anything. You have to not get that in your head that you are, disabled, like you don't have anything to offer. You have to overcome that. And so to me, I had to just keep pushing myself out of my comfort zone. When they told me not to drive, I had to go and push myself to drive. And it still is very uncomfortable when I go into the city. But pushing myself to be more alert, pay more attention, like all those things. Like I have to do it for myself. And then the colitis, when I got that diagnosis, the Epstein-Barr and the mono, I didn't know until after the fact when they told me that I had those and I healed myself. And then the colitis, I didn't know ahead of time. And I went into it again as a nurse. And luckily my daughter, because I was really, really upset when I got the thing, and I told my daughter, the youngest one, and she's really, really a cool person. And so she looked it up, and she saw that it was from the meds. So as soon as she told me that, I was looking up the meds and seeing which ones do I have to wean myself off. I'm pretty sure she helped me too, but saw which ones I had to wean myself off, and the rest are just cold turkey, cold turkey, cold turkey. And I was in a lot of pain for months. And that's when I started, like, on my daughter was bringing me the little they were little hard candies and stuff. When I first did them, it was like, oh my gosh, it was like going to outer space. It was like so intense. And but then you get more used to it. But then that's what I've stayed on, that THC is like for a headache, for any of that stuff. No to their chemicals and stuff. And it's, all their stuff is super toxic. I'd rather the plant, and it just sucks because the plant, in a state where it's legal, is they spray stuff on it. So it's way better if you can just grow your own plant and then use the plant for yourself. But anyways, that to me, so I did that healing all myself by getting myself off the meds, and that is when I started doing a lot more with focusing on smoothies and focusing on, I can't remember all the stuff. Like I didn't even know all these different things about all the teas and stuff. I started seeing that more when I went on TikTok, and I started seeing all these different herbalists and these naturopathic people and all that stuff talking about all these different herbs. You got to drink this herb, and this is so good for you. And that's when I was like, oh, I got to get this herb and this herb and this herb. And that's when I started adding all those on. So that has been more recent. And being able to figure out all this natural stuff is it has been more recent, where it's like really the impact of really how much poison is in our food and how it really does affect us. And it's all on purpose, and it's not even good enough in the food. Then they got to hit us in the air, the water, and all this stuff. And how it's all being shown right now. It's all like coming to the surface. And I don't even know what the deal is like with chili, what it all means. I don't know where it's all going with Texas, California, with any of this stuff. When we know where it's all going to a big, huge change. It's all going to a big finale, a big thing, like the balloon flipping inside out. We're headed into this big finale, and every time things start feeling weird and stuff, is like, man, is this it? And there is like more buildup going on. There's more shenanigans. I don't know. There's all these executive orders, if all this taking away all our rights and stuff. So I don't know, if that is kind of like another threat, another like, be prepared, it's coming, and here we go. And so they're going to kind of walk us into this, and then everybody's going to be like terrified and scared, and then everything will turn the other direction. Like I don't know how it's all going to play out. Like it seems like it's not going to be as dramatic as some, like back in 2020, when I thought it was going to happen. It seemed like it was going to be like this really dramatic thing. And, and then they were telling us that every single person who had these was going to be dead by now and all this. So, now it is, I think the people who got those, though, I think they have added, sickness. Like, we all have this stuff. Like, they fucking put herpes, like all this stuff is being put into us. These sicknesses, these viruses, and I don't even know what the hell this eye thing is that I've got here. And so anyways, if anybody has any other ideas besides castor oil or aloe vera or something, and then since it's right close to your eye, but right now it's really itchy. I don't know, maybe it is some kind of a herpes or something. It's right by my eye, and that can when I was a nurse and there was somebody who came in, and so I don't sit and itch it. Like, anytime you have any kind of rash or something, don't sit and itch it, because it will spread. It goes in. And we had a patient, she was a young kind of girl, and she had gotten, I think she had gotten herpes in her eye, and it went into her brain, and she was, she had encephalitis, or I don't know, I don't remember if she lived. It's the same kind of thing as like when people come in with Lyme and stuff. All these viruses, all this stuff that they're hitting us with, and they're always trying to get in the brain. And there's all this stuff coming out now with this choline and this Benadryl, and that they knew about this stuff, and but they knew about the lights. They knew about the light bulbs. All that has come out. And then they're like, oh, they knew those light bulbs are bad for us, so let's outlaw the other ones, and let's make sure they all have to buy these expensive ones, and let's tell them they're good for us. In this fucking heater thing, like the amount of noise pollution, like right now, there is so fucking much noise in my head right now. It is like, sometimes it's unbearable. It's just like, fuck, man. And then I used to be able to just go to sleep. Now it's just goddamn fucking noisy and sleep time. Like, now she's asleep. That's what I should go sleep. Let me think if there was anything else. But I really wanted to say that about that, because that is some bullshit. If they are tracking all those disease center and stuff, especially like right now where they're telling us like, oh, this person ate a hog that was bought at a market 6 weeks before, like, and then they got this sickness, and now they've spread it, and this person in the airplane who sat next to him, and they coughed one time, and then it got all this stuff. They're making shit up. I don't know that they're even tracking anything, because I would think that the disease center, like, they would have to turn it in. Like, they would have to say, well, we have somebody who had the hep. So I don't know. It just really got me thinking. Really had me thinking, like, okay, there's just another thing that is some bullshit. Like, I don't think they track shit. I think they just make shit up. and I don't think they give a fuck. And who even fucking knows if we're even passing this to each other? That's one thing. Maybe they're just giving it to it, and then we are all thinking that we're giving it to each other, but we're not. But that's their cover story, is to get us convinced that we are. And then get the whole thing with Tinder and stuff. So then there's a whole bunch of people sleeping around that drop a whole bunch of sickness and diseases and viruses and shit on them. And then tell them they're giving it to each other. So I don't know. The UPS guy still hasn't come. I didn't see it because I watched from yesterday and the day before. This would be the third day that I haven't seen him. He could have went by, but usually I would always hear him. So, anyways, my halter thing that I've been working on, and now I'm kind of at this point of like, oh man, what do I want to do for the back? Do I want to have it like be a halter? Do I want to have it be like a tank top? Do I want to like, because right now I feel like it looks like an art. I think it's really cute, but it's not done. So I've been working on that, and that is also killing my eyes. I feel tired, but I swear. After I woke up because went to bed at 6, sorry, then 9:30, and then I got up and I saw it was 9:30 or something, or 8:30, and I went in and I went pee and went lay back down, and then I think it was like 11:30, and then she was crying, and then I think I got up. I don't know. All these nights keep going, like I don't even know now. It seems like I got up and then but maybe it was what? I don't fucking know. I know that it seems like I just am not getting any sleep at all. And I keep trying to tell myself, you don't need it, you don't need it. But my eyes hurt and I'm tired. So anyways, I think I will go try and lay down or something. I was watching this, yesterday I put on some old black and white movie, and it just was one went to go off. I'm on YouTube, and it would go off and another one would start and go off and another one would start. So it's been doing that this morning, and this one came on, and it is such a good mystery. It really is a good one, because it really is like, oh, who did it? Yeah, I didn't think of that. Oh yeah. So I love those when it makes your mind be thinking like, that's the thing too, is what they've done with entertainment. It's like make it more mindless. Like there's no thought provoking, or if it is thought provoking, it's just to make you kind of feel sick to your stomach. Thought provoking, like would you slurp out someone's jizz water after they've bathed in it? It's like sick. Like I don't think so, but I don't know. They're always trying to get these questions. And I do want to say one other thing too, because in Sarah's comment, and she had said that about the video game situation, and I had heard that too, that those guys that were going on, but I didn't hear it to that much. Like that makes so much sense, because there was a whole thing about that the bad guys, they started they would go into those because they couldn't be tracked, because nobody was keeping track of those conversations, is what they thought. And so they were going in and somehow they got caught, and so it started being tracked. But so I'm not surprised at all that they started pushing it. That makes so much sense, that they started pushing this desensitizing kids with sex and violence in the video games. Like we already knew that, but they just turned it up another level. When they knew it was, then they used it to their advantage, like to desensitize kids. And then I think to start creating like a porn addiction young in kids, to to crave that stimulation of like, oh, that was exciting, that was naughty, that was exciting, let's go see. And so they do all that stuff on purpose. That's the thing. And but I did hear about that those people, like there's a lot of sickos in those gaming communities where they're all on there live talking and stuff, like where you can go into those chats or go into the game things and play other players or something. There is weirdos in there. I have heard that. And so anyways, I think I will go, but It's just more stuff, like more bullshit. Seriously, if it was so concerning, where they're telling us it's an epidemic, it's so bad, and then that I would have it, even if I healed myself, I still would have had it. There still should have been some member of the disease center who should have come and talked to me and asked me, and it got, who I was with, like they were supposed to go through and track all that. That's supposedly what their job is. It's like, boy, there's more and more and more just bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. So, anyways, I'm sure I'll probably still be back in a few hours. I'm gonna go on still and look on TikTok. I haven't. It was just weird, the weird energy. But there's more stuff. Like if you have places out where you have availability to look at the sky and stuff, go out and look at the sky. There's wild shit in the sky. There's definitely so much wild stuff. There's ships pulling up and dropping ships. There's doors opening. There's planets and suns and everything. But I do think everything is like, when it all comes down to it, it's all gonna be these like realms and stuff. It's not gonna be this like set out thing like people think. And people are starting to see the realms in the skies. So, and like I said before, we could very much be in all different realms and we think we're not. There was even, I saw a pilot said, I've seen more than one of these where a pilot said that they know the earth is flat, but they're not allowed to tell anybody. So, and that, this is where it's all going to come down to. How many people were keeping these lies? How many people did they have under their belt? How many people did we have in our lives that were lying to us? So, that's all just going to keep coming out and coming out. So, anyways, I'm sure I'll be back in the morning. But, and I say go in and read her comment. It was really powerful. I thought it was really powerful. So anyways, but you guys all do good comments and stuff. And, I think it's really cool that, we're all coming together and making a difference and trying to do better for ourselves and make better relationships and live life different, live life through love and through empowerment, making the life that you want it to be. That is your empowerment. That is your raising your vibration. Doing that is like, I don't know what they keep convincing all these people that they're not good enough, they're failing, and you're not spiritual if you're not vegan. It's like these people with you're not going to heaven if you don't do this. They're all just this jump through hoops. It's not like that. You don't have any hoops to jump through. And everything is about you. Your existence is like your vibration is your loving yourself, your willingness to love yourself and to love others. And that is like the heartbeat of the color, your essence, and the vibration. The same way as the richness comes back into your hair. It's like the richness of your soul and the vibration of your soul. And that is your essence and your aura. Your aura becomes brighter the more that you grow and stuff. So anyways, don't listen to some of these people. Like they're going to keep being exposed, and they're going to find themselves on their own hot seats, with that mirror in their hands and looking foolish over some of the stuff that they have said and feeling the shame, that they're out there in their ego, acting like that they've got all the answers and making people doubt themselves. And I don't know, that's not cool. Because no matter what, even if you don't agree with me, you got answers inside of you. Even if you don't understand mine, you have your own. And there's people out there who would share them. Like you don't just vibrate alone. There's like others that vibrate the same vibration as you. So anyways, you'll find them. They're out there. So anyways, I'm sure be back in a few hours. But anyways, I just wanted to share that. And so I'll talk to you later. Bye.